How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the channel. My name is Garrett, and today I want to start a new series called Roll Review, where I give you a review of my experience shooting on film. And today the subject matter is Ilford HP5 and how I inadvertently ruined a roll but love the results. Let me explain. Ilford HP5 by nature is a film stock that I'm not a huge fan of just because, in my opinion, it's very flat. I typically meter it at 200 speed. It's 400 speed film. I meter it at 200 and I have them develop it no differently, just in hopes that I can naturally get some contrast back into it. So Excited Me bought a couple of film stocks together, Ilford HP5 being one of them, Fujifilm Acros, Kodak Ektachrome, and I believe Kodak Portra 400. I got home and I was super excited to try the Acros actually because I love Fuji's film stocks. I'm a Fuji fanboy with their digital line of cameras, and I wanted to try my hand at Acros 100. So not paying attention, I grabbed a box out of my bag from F32 Photo in Knoxville, shout out to you guys, and proceeded to put the roll into my Olympus XA. Now, the issue with that was, I told my XA to meter the film stock that I thought was Acros, and I thought that I was golden and good to go. Little to my knowledge, I had accidentally loaded in the roll of Ilford. The boxes look decently similar, especially if you're not paying attention. And as you can imagine, if I had it my way and had known, I probably wouldn't have metered it at 100 because I normally meter Ilford at 200. Fast forward to me finishing that roll and realizing that I had not in fact shot Fujifilm Acros, but I had instead shot the Ilford HP5, and I was mortified. I called F32 Photo, spoke with Matt, who is my go-to pro for anything film related, and he's helped me in my film journey thus far. And I basically explained to Matt, hey Matt, I have ruined this roll of film, what can I do? Surprisingly enough, Matt comforted me and said, hey, there's actually nothing wrong with shooting a 400 speed film at 100 speed. He said you may enjoy the results. Matt instructed me to send in the roll no differently than what I normally would. He also advised that I have them develop it no differently than if I had shot it at box speed. I thought it was crazy, but Matt's the pro and I'm not, so I trusted him. I sent it in, got back the results, and I was absolutely ecstatic with what happened to my roll of film. And I want to show you some of these photos as I'm explaining what is actually going on here, or what I think is going on. What I did by exposing it at 100 speed instead of 400 is a term that I've discovered through research is thickening the negative. And all that means is my camera is still going to meter the scene and try to expose it at perfect exposure regardless. However, with me metering it 100 instead of 400, it slowed the shutter speed down to where we were underexposing by 2 stops. Fast forward to development in the lab. Whenever we have them develop it no differently, this is going to add extra contrast in because we have a thickened negative. Light has hit the film for longer than it would have had I metered it at 200 or even 400. And I think it's beautiful. I think this is my new favorite way to shoot Ilford HP5. Zero touching in post. I don't have to bring back any contrast, and that was my big issue with Ilford in the first place, was I had to bring in contrast in post. I don't like that on film because my idea of shooting film is I want to use the images that I have from the lab. I don't want to have to throw them into Lightroom and do any adjustments. To me, that defeats the purpose of shooting film. So I would challenge you, if you also are in the same boat as me when it comes to Ilford and you think that it's a flat film and that you're having to do a lot of work to it in Lightroom or whatever your editing software is, I would say shoot Ilford a little dark. And whenever you go to develop it no differently than if you had shot it at box speed. I didn't tell them to push it, pull it, or anything. I just said develop the film. And they have their development times for whatever the box recommends. With that being said, I want to know your experiences with film photography. Have you ruined any rolls? What are your favorite film stocks to experiment with? Let me know down in the comments below. Also guys, if you like this content and want to see more like it in the future, consider subscribing to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. I love growing this community here on YouTube. Y'all have a great one, and we'll see you in the next.